Now we are at question 12 of this second passage of reading comprehension drill set number 2, which is a dual science passage. And we here go to the question stem. Which one of the following, if true, would most weaken the position of the author of passage B regarding the community of astrophysicists? So this here is a very specific application question, and it almost functions as a weakened question for the logical reasoning. So we're going to scroll on down and basically ignore passage A in this context. And we're going to come down here and we're going to search for the author of passage B's results regarding the community of astrophysicists. If we come in here, we can see that the astrophysics community has, by and large, applied only the critical mode of thought to the same problem. And you can see we've gotten into the detail and specific term location references, so you could use your pink highlight to kind of identify things. Although I'm probably going to come over here, and this was from a prior question, I'm going to just clean up our highlight at the end of the first paragraph of the second passage, and we're going to focus on the astrophysics community that has the problem of having only applied the critical mode of thought to whatever's happening with A and T. So we do need to have a big enough understanding of what's happening in the passage overall regarding the community of astrophysicists. And we can see in our highlights that we made at the very beginning of this dual passage that scientists need to exhibit at least 3 modes of thought: curious, creative, and critical. But then it says the astrophysics community applied only the critical mode of thought to the problem that A&T found. So we might decide that we want to figure out what the problem was, but it's ultimately not as important as you might think. So we just need to show that the community, the astrophysics community, did not only apply the critical mode of thought. They got into curious and they got into creative as well. So we treat this again as if it were a logical reasoning style question. So we're looking for our common wrong logical reasoning reasons to eliminate when it comes to argument tasks. We're looking to eliminate things that are vague, things that would strengthen as opposed to weaken, things that would need additional information in order to apply it to this argument that the astrophysics community has only applied the critical mode of thought to A&T's problems about the problem about the redshift. So starting with choice A, some members of the astrophysics community have been open to accepting A&T's research. Well, this is a perfect vague answer choice. Some members, how many? 1, 2, 2,000? I have no idea, so we can eliminate choice A pretty readily. Then we've got other researchers have proposed equally radical interpretations of the redshift and have received more positive responses than have A&T. Well, now it's saying that there's some creative and critical solutions that just aren't A and T's solutions. So I'm going to leave this one open because I'm like, actually, equally radical interpretations would be creative and not just critical, which we know is kind of the dichotomy that is at play in this argument that the author of passage B is putting forth. Then choice C. Both A and T were originally skeptical about their own observations and interpretations of the data. Well, what A and T did aren't necessarily going to have anything to do with the astrophysics community by and large, either being only critical or actually potentially being critical, creative, and curious if we scroll up just a hair to see it. So we'll eliminate choice C as not addressing this issue and weakening the claim that the astrophysics community has only been critical. Then choice D, much of A&T's work in astrophysics has been of a routine nature. Okay, is it this work? I have no idea. That has nothing to do with this specific problem. So we can eliminate choice D pretty readily. And then choice E, scientists working in other scientific fields are even more resistant to accepting evidence. Well, other scientific fields, we're concerned with astrophysics and that community. So other scientific fields would require additional information, and we can pick choice B by just applying our logical reasoning concepts to what we like to call logical reasoning in reading comprehension questions such as this, asking to weaken the position, which choice B adequately does.